Well, good morning and happy Kentucky Oaks Friday to everybody. If you've been playing Mike Somich's picks, you're already up for the day. Congratulations, smoking tea, smoking them home in race 3 at Churchill Downs. We're a few minutes to race 4, but we're going to be talking about Kentucky Oaks and final thoughts for the Kentucky Derby day. I am with Mike Somich, Aaron Halterman, Papa Dude, and Jared Welch. And guys, a lot to talk about. First thing I want to bring up here, something that's been bandied about a lot in our chat this week, and thank you everybody who's been with us all week long for these live shows. Question about wet paint. A lot of us are feeling very confident, and I know if you bought the betting Bible, you saw just how confident some people are. If wet paint wins impressively yet again, Aaron, I'll throw to you first. Will she try maybe the Preakness or the Belmont next out?
I seriously doubt it.
No.
I don't think there's much of a chance of that that's going to happen. You do have a horse out of that same barn that's primed and ready for the Preakness, so that's not going to happen. I don't think the Belmont is either. So I would say no.
Yeah, and I guess I should say, does anybody think she will? I'm with you, Aaron. I think you kind of point to the big grade 1 races at Saratoga and Belmont, and you aim for those. There's still a lot of money to be made. It's not too much. Hey, there you go, Mike. You've got already someone commenting about Kevin B came through with smoking tea. So we got that one. A lot of news happened after we were live yesterday. We had the scratch of Practical Move. We had the scratch of Lord Miles and every Saffy Joseph Jr. horse. We had the scratch of Continue R. And then now we're hearing rumors from all sorts of places. Forte might scratch. So I'm going to ask you guys, Jared, I'll throw to you first because you've got the ears in the barn. How likely is Forte to scratch from the Kentucky Derby?
Well, first of all, doesn't it kind of feel like a different race since the last time we talked? I mean, every horse is scratched. We have all the also eligibles. Now we're going to be down to 19, possibly 18, I guess. And who knows who else is going to scratch. It's like the Santa Anita Derby we're left with Mandarin Hero out of that race. It's pretty wild what's happened just in the last not even 24 hours. I wish I could tell you. From everything I've heard, and I think between Alterman and I and you guys, like, we got some pretty good sources. And if I had to guess, I'm leaning that it sounds like he's going to scratch, but at the same time, I'm wondering why he hasn't already. So it's one of those things for me that I'm struggling with. I have a lot of things through Forte, whether it be on underneath or doubles or whatever. And so it's like, if he's in, I've got to trust. And you kind of alluded to this, Papa Dude, before we went live. It's like, if he's running, like, Pletcher's not going to run him if he's hurt. So, like, if he's in, then I'm going to stick with it. But I got to think if there's any issue whatsoever, and when there's smoke, there's fire. I don't know. It just feels like we're just waiting for that message to say he's scratched.
Well, let me ask you a question, Aaron. Let's just assume he is scratched. Tapit Trice becomes the favorite, right? I think we'd all agree on that. What price do you think Tapit Trice goes off at?
He's probably 3-1, I would think, because that's a ton of money that's got to go somewhere. And it's going to go to Tapit Trice, and it's going to go to Angel of Empire, I think. I think those horses now slide into like the 3-1, 5-1 type of situation. Look, I'm kind of with Jared. If I had to make a bet on it, I think he is going to scratch. But the longer he doesn't, the longer you go, well, maybe he's going to run. I don't know how we're sitting here going, well, he might scratch. We're speculating he's going to scratch. And then if he's going to run, we think he's going to run a huge race, right? I mean, that's the other part of it. If he's in, how weird is that going to be? And what do we take from that? So there's a lot of things happening right now. We'll see though. But yeah, Tapit Trice is going to be a 3-1 favorite, I think, if he does end up scratching.
It'd be very interesting. It's one of those things where it's almost like the nuclear bomb effect of this. And actually, Aaron and I were talking about this yesterday, how likely we thought it might be. And I compared this to Omaha Beach, where it was just like when Omaha Beach scratched, it was kind of like the nuclear bomb effect the day right before. We're like, son of a bitch. All right, so now you have to completely rework everything. And I think at that point, we weren't really fully prepared for what was going to happen and who we would end up using. I think this year we're a little bit better prepared. Maybe we learned from that a little bit. And yes, Skinner scratched as well. He also caught a fever this morning. So I'd be worried about Mandarin Hero. At this point, it seems like California horses brought some sort of a disease with them. Or maybe, honestly, Mike, it's been pretty warm out here for the most part lately. It's freezing cold, it looks like, in Kentucky with the way everybody's dressed. Maybe they're just not acclimating to the weather there too. So Skinner is out. So now we have less than 20 horses for the Kentucky Derby. And kind of on that note of comparing this race to Omaha Beach with the scratch there, for you guys that have been following this for a while, what Kentucky Derby in recent memory compares the most to this year's Derby? Aaron, I can throw it to you for this one first.
None of them. This is a weird one, guys. I've never seen scratches like this. You always get one or two. It happens, but now we have 4 and we might have another. It's crazy. So I can't really remember one like this, to be completely honest. And honestly, while I'm not picking Forte to win the race, he still brings star power. Like, I'm not stupid. Like, I understand that is the star of this field. And with him out, what is this as far as quality? It's not much.
Jared, what about you? What is there any kind of Derby that reminds you? Let's say, for example, for now, Forte is still in the race. Does it compare to any kind of Derby that you can remember in recent years?
Man, Halter and I have been on the phone like 20 times today, and I just feel like this has been one of those derbies that not that I can really recall. Sorry, I'm watching the stretch run of this race.
Is Hardy Constitution going to find a way
get up
through
there? Or what are we going to do here? There we
Get
go.
through the rail or what?
Get going, son.
Oh my goodness.
Does 12 want to get through? Because that'd be fine too. There goes the 7.
7 got through, thankfully.
Finally.
Good Lord.
12 never got loose. Anyway.
Anyways, so here's the thing, and here's where I'm really struggling with. And I think we're all kind of doing this same thing. I don't know where you guys are with him as far as bets go, but I feel like Schefter over here, just got a text from my barn contact, and now they're saying they don't know that he's going to scratch. They're going to wait to the last second to see if they scratch. It will be tomorrow morning when they see him jog.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, fuck us all when he
That's all up.
And I don't know. I can't really get a solid answer out of it, but it sounds like it might be more of a shoe issue or foot, ankle, than it is like bone bruise. That's what I'm getting, but I don't know. They said they apparently fixed the shoe today, and they're hoping that helps.
Wonderful.
This is a shit show.
It really is.
There really is, as Magic is muted, there really is nothing to compare this to, because I can't remember any race where you've had this many horses defect this late, and the horses that got in all matter. Sans King Russell, knock on wood, in case that's another rich strike. But like the 21 and 22 both matter drawing in here, and then you lose Forte. That makes a huge difference in this race too, because I know that I don't think any of us picked Forte on top, except you, Papa Dude. Obviously, affects you more than us. But like, I was locking him into second or third.
Me too, right?
Like, and so it's one of those horses. Like, I felt like you could key in the try and the super.
Yes.
Because I thought he was like, I've been talking about him being essential quality. That horse that's going to get like a little too far back, going to run up and going to run a good race and finish second or third. And now
Preach it. That's exactly.
But do you have confidence that that's still going to happen now? Like,
if he's out, you certainly don't have confidence in that horse existing in the race.
Well, I guarantee you it won't happen if he's out. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying like any other horse. There's no other horse that you can count on where you can be like, well, if Forte's not in, I'll key blank.
So
there's not that horse.
Real quick betting advice. If you like anyone else, go bet on a fixed market today. Go find a place that you can lock in odds on Tapit Trice, on Angel of Empire, on Mage, on Mandarin Hero, whoever it is in a fixed odds market, because you will not get a better price if Forte leaves this race tomorrow. So if I'm looking at playing a win bet on anyone, I would be betting at least part of it fixed odds today.
Mike, go ahead, Aaron.
Well, as I say, Magic, I was going to kick it to you, so let me do it real quick. But the big difference, and Magic's right, it is kind of like if he scratches, like when Omaha Beach scratch. But Magic, that was actually, I think, Wednesday before the Derby when they announced it. So when Jared just read that news, what's that? What'd you say?
My turn when you're done.
Well, I was just saying, so when you have a scratch coming the morning of the race, that is actually much, much tougher. And so it's a very good comparison. But when we just got that news there from Jared, that's That means we're getting up at 5 a.m. tomorrow, preparing for what could be. Go ahead, Papa Dude.
Who didn't get up at 5 a.m. today?
Well, I did, yeah, but
I did.
we all were.
Is there any common sense in horse racing? So let's throw that out there first, because let's try some common sense here. Number one, the horse is not terribly hurt, or he would have been scratched already, and he would not have been on the track this morning.
Yeah.
Can we all agree with that?
I would agree that whatever it is, it's minor.
It's minor.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way in hell they're going to race this horse if he is hurt. It's not going to happen. He's worth too much money. So it's minor. They don't know yet. Right? We can all agree with that.
Your point makes me think he's going to scratch, because even if it's minor, they're not. I don't think they'll run him.
Right.
So,
if Jared's source is right, which obviously it's a pretty good source, they aren't sure.
yeah.
Right? But I can't imagine them risking this horse in the freaking Kentucky Derby after the rumors have come out that he might be hurt. And then if he runs and he goes down, what the hell's going to happen to that barn?
Yeah. Yeah. I think you need to plan on him scratching.
I do too. Because I picked him and now I don't have a damn thing to do. And by the way, you were talking about star power. We've also lost Practical Move in this too, who was another horse that had some name. So now we're down to Angel of Empire, who really going into the Arkansas Derby didn't have much of a name. I mean, he won the Risen Star, but so what? And what was the other one? Tapit Trice. And that's who we got left, right?
Yep.
And this Japanese horse scares me now that he's in the race.
One?
Either one of them. Either one.
No, that's the thing. It's nice that, no offense to Continuar and his connections, but if there was one Japanese horse that scratched and we all went, all right,
yeah,
I think it was the right one. That went. It would have been nice to see him come in. I still think he would have been a great bet to finish last, but that's just me. To Mike's point that he mentioned earlier, if you can somehow find fixed odds anywhere on horses that you like, play them. Play them now, because you're not going to get anything close to those odds on a horse that you like there.
So if you've got overseas books, they're available at Bovada. They're available at Bookmaker. They're currently available at Circa in Vegas. They're available on all the betting apps in Vegas. So if you're in Nevada, you can get them there. So there are quite a few places that they're available. I have not checked DraftKings Sportsbook or any of those sports books to see if there's fixed odds. It varies from state to state. But there are a bunch of different places you can get it. And if Forte does scratch, you're going to get double the price on pretty much every horse today that you would tomorrow.
If Kingsbarn scratches, Mike Pellerin is going to become an atheist. I'm pretty positive about that one. The Church of Kingsbarn's up in flames.
And just to add fuel to the fire, a couple of the markets are now down.
Oh, really?
Run right now. Go to your fixed odds book somewhere.
You mean the markets are down as in there's no wagering whatsoever? Like they took it off?
In the last 5 minutes.
Is that right?
Pulled off Kentucky Derby fixed odds.
Oh,
wow. They're not usually on their shit like this, too. Usually there's like a long delay. We talk about that Magic Mike show all the time. There's a long delay on that. And
I've never taken advantage of that.
Jared and I have talked about this a lot. You can't hide it if a Kentucky Derby horse has any kind of issue.
That's right.
You just can't hide it. The microscope's on him 24/7, and I'm sure the Todd Pletcher barn would love this to be like just a race at Gulfstream where they can kind of hide out and do their own thing and not have to worry about it. I'm sure that's adding extra stress. Not that matters if he's going to be healthy or not, but still, just you feel for the connections for sure.
Boy.
The funny part about this too is like, and you know how it is. I think it's magnitude or magnified a little bit in where we're at, because we've been in this game for long enough to where we know trainers and jockeys and owners and whatever, so you kind of get a little bit more. You feel like inside information, but you never know. But it's like I keep getting all these different reports from different people. Yeah, well, I've got one from the exercise writer.
Oh no!
Oh, this is good.
You actually have it for real?
Yeah.
You're not kidding.
Hear it?
No.
Okay.
Oh, come on. What Amelia say? Come on. We
Yeah,
want to
we
know.
could've felt
Say it.
awful.
Yeah.
He says that they're gonna most likely have to scratch, and if he does run somehow, he'll run like shit.
He didn't say
That's
Repoli
what
is
they-
being an asshole and wants to run.
what?
What?
Say it again.
No, don't
Repoli
say
wants
that
to
again.
run. That's
Yeah.
the pressure from the owners to run.
Oh, the owner wants to run.
Well, of course he does.
Well,
Fuck, I
sure.
want to run too. I mean,
Yeah, I'll go out there. I'll fill in that 19 gate. Actually, never mind. They don't pay all 20 spots in this.
No, they only pay top 5. Although at this rate, Mike, I mean, you can still put yourself in there, and you've got an outside chance, I think. I mean, Race
Mile and a
Kane's still in
quarter.
there. Beat
I mean,
him.
I could outbreak half the field, but mile and a quarter, I'd have some trouble in.
see, to kind of comment on what Papa Dude said, logic tells you you're not running that horse, period, no matter what. But also, I've been around owners, and they are nuts. I am too. I told Kelly he's fired if we don't win the 8th race today at Oaklawn. So, I mean, the pressure's on him as well. So,
You want?
Look.
Well, who's the horse? What's the
Husker
odds?
Butch, he's going to win.
He's
What's
running
the number?
today on Oak Stake.
What, at
Yeah,
Oak-
he's
No,
running
no,
it.
no, just say Oak Stake.
Yeah,
Horse
sure.
ran on
Yeah.
Oak Stake. That's all you can say.
Is it a 3-year-old colt?
Yes.
I know a race with some open spots.
I listened.
Why did
I
not
texted
win?
him last night. I said, "Why did you run in the special weight? There are spots in the Derby."
I think now let's talk serious though. For like,
Sure.
let's assume that he's in, like that he doesn't scratch, like somehow he stays in. Hearing all this, I know it's like, well, if he's in, he's not, But if there's if there's ownership pressure or whatever, like, do we really want to pick this horse or bet him underneath or whatever? And to piggyback from that question, how do you think the smart money goes to Tapit Trice after all this? Do you think does this horse get bet heavier even with Forte in the race, and possibly, and this might be a stretch, did he go off the favorite and not Forte?
Well, let's not say smart money, because I think the smart money on this feed disagrees whether it goes to Tapit Trice. I think that you see a better price on Forte. I think 5-2 is definitely not going to happen now. I would be surprised if it gets to like 4-1, but I think he's still the favorite. But I think you see 3-1, 7-2 versus 5-2.
So you're going to get money tomorrow that doesn't really care about what we're talking about, right? And so that's why he probably will stay favored. But to Jared's point, yes, there's a lot of that kind of money in the pools, but there's a lot of money in the pools that people that play every day and they're following this. So I think you're definitely going to get a blend of the two.
Where's the Mattress Mac money going? Does it go on Tapit Trice?
Truth really brings up a good point that as much as he bets, that could be a factor in this as well. Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting if CDI steps in too. If they put some type of pressure on, hey, we don't, if there's any type of issue at all, we don't want him running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've already done that with the 2 horses they scratched from the Joseph barn, right? That because of the deaths of the others.
Well, that was Keeneland's fault. Didn't you hear? That was all Keeneland's fault.
I don't know whose fault it is, but Churchill said we're not going to put up with this. So
At some point, you got to stop defending Safi Magic.
But you're right, Mike. I think they will step in. They don't want another eight bells situation. They don't want that. And as I've said a million times, this race is watched by everybody. People that know nothing about horse racing watch this race, and you have a tragedy. We all understand it. They don't, and they don't want that to happen. So you're right, Mike. I think that's a very good point.
Yeah, how many people got texted?
By the way, sorry.
How many people got texted about the Safi stuff, like about the 4 horses dying the other day? I had 4 people out of the blue text me that stuff, which is, first of all, 2 of them thought that they were breaking news to me, and I'm like, kind of work in the industry. I'm aware of that this is happening. But
I went on the local radio station here in Southwest Missouri, and that was the first question they asked me. And
Really?
what's really funny is I told this to Jared. I'm not on Twitter anymore. I don't follow. I don't really know what's going on with these horses and how people are going nuts about it. So when they asked me, I was like, "Oh, I guess is this a big deal? Are people making a big deal of it?" I guess they are. So, they asked me first question right out of the gate.
I'm surprised they knew.
Well, exactly, and that's what took me back. It's like this is national news, obviously, because they, and admittedly so, they don't know anything about horse racing. They just had me on because it's Derby. So, yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
All right. Well, we've got the Sheba Stakes is kicking off the graded stakes action here, and 3-5 on West Willpower. Apparently, a lot of you that bought the betting Bible, you're really pushing the opinions like the rest of us thought you should. So, 3-5 on that horse. Aaron, is that playable? I know this is one of your strongest opinions of the weekend.
Yeah, it's playable. It's going to be a play. I think it'll float up. I think there was a lot of early money on him, but I certainly didn't think he'd be 3-5 at any point. But he's still the play. He's my strongest horse of the weekend. So we either get out to a good start or not.
I think you're going to end up with even money. I think you're going to see even money on West Willpower 2-1 here on our collector when it's all said and done based on the wheel pace.
Okay, I would take it. When he opens up at 2-5, then you're going to say, okay, I'm going to get even money. Great, I'll take it.
I kind of like Smile Happy here in the second spot in exact. I've been looking over here at the exacta payouts to think about whether or not I'm playing a 4-5 exacta cold or a 4-5-1 tri cold.
Yeah. Well,
I like Smile Happy.
What's Last Samurai paying, Papa Dude? You're a big fan of his.
Yeah, I am. I just I think he's coming back too soon.
You might say.
Can you just hear what Dwayne said though? I can already tell you. Well, we weren't going to run him, but he came back to the barn and he's just eating like everything we got in sight, and he's about to knock the stall down. Yep. He's wanting to run, so what the heck? We put him in there. Can't you just hear him saying that?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's doing too good not to enter him.
Yeah, we have to enter him. My gosh, why not?
I'm in Secret Oath, knocking down the walls of their paddock.
Yeah,
get him in there.
Yeah,
they're trying to escape the barn. And go home.
No, I'm gonna run.
He's got them all.
Alter and I know you feel the same way, Papa Dude. We always joke about like when one of his horses runs like maybe like 20-1, they run better than they should have.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, now we're gonna see that horse run 10 more times in all stakes races.
Yeah.
Oh, worst thing he could have done.
He was a 30,000 maiden claver, and I always think, okay, he's going to be that horse going to be in the apple blossom.
Yep.
So should we talk about the Oaks?
Sure.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We got to talk about that. Kentucky. We talked about wet paint at the start, and then it just kind of disappeared from there. We'll go around the horn real quick because I know we're getting closer to this race for the Sheba Stakes, kicking off the Great Stakes action on Friday. Mike Somich, we'll go around the horn, starting with you, buddy. Give us your trifecta. Give me a cold try for the Kentucky Oaks today.
Making me go with 3 here. All right. So on top, to me, I like wet paint quite a bit. I'm probably going to play some singles in the Oaks Derby double with wet paint to start out. Although, again, that pool is one. Well, actually, I don't mind it because I'm not going to include Forte now, and I wouldn't include Tapit Trice, who all of your doubles would go to if you play it into tomorrow. So I'm fine with playing the Oaks Derby double because I actually think there's more value in it now, considering who the favorite would be going into tomorrow. So I'll play some 4-7 into the double there. My cold try is going to be the 7 wet paint over the 4 South Lawn. Those are really the only 2 I think can win the race. And then I'll put the 13 Affirmative Lady in third.
Aaron Halterman.
A cold try, 7-4-14. I'll keep on pretty mischievous. I hate the post, but she's been a darn consistent horse. Really like South Lawn, so I put her in second. And wet paint for me. And look, guys, I've played her all through this sequence, and it's worked out. She really, to me, just seems like the most consistent horse. I don't think she's a superstar, but I do think she's awfully good. So I think she'll be tough in the spot.
Jared
Real quick before Jared goes, where can you bet the Oaks Derby double? It's its own racetrack on TVG and Express Bet. So you have to go into the extra racetracks, and all the 2-day bets are listed there, including the Derby Pick 3, the Derby Pick 6, and the Oaks Derby double.
Jared, what'd you try here for the Oaks?
So I gotta say though too, it's good or bad, but Somich and I seem to be on the same wavelength today. I don't know, I'm feeling I have the exact same cold try as him. I also love the idea of playing the Oaks Derby doubles into tomorrow to kind of maximize your value there, especially if you're like him, who doesn't, obviously he's not, I don't think he's gonna play 14 now, but if he doesn't like Tapit Trice, well, there's plenty of options there. To me, I'm playing Tapit Trice, but I'm playing a big exacta or a double into that, and I'm also sprinkling in other horses with smaller values to try to get there. But I do think I think she's going to be. Don't you guys think she's going to be sub 2-1?
Wet
Probably.
paint? Yeah.
Yeah, she'll
Yeah.
be sub 2-1, right?
Yeah.
She's 3-2 right now with the early voting, early betting.
I
7-5 at range would be my guess.
You can maximize your value on her if you really like her, like we do, by playing those. Because I do think while the Derby is seemingly wide open, there is some logical horses to play in that double that could pay.
Papa Dude, what's your Kentucky Oaks trifecta, bud?
Real quick, Robert Sparks got in here late, and he was asking about Forte. We don't know, Robert. We don't know. Nobody knows. We're not going to know. Jared's got a great source saying we won't know till in the morning. So that's the latest from us. I'm going to go 7. I'm going to throw Botanical in there. I kind of like that horse. And then I'm going to go with Pretty Mischievous as well. So 7, 6, 14.
I'm close to Aaron's. I'm going to flip it. South Lawn is able to hold off Wet Paint. I'm going to go 4-7 and Pretty Mischievous, the 14 in third there. Mike, before we get out of here, I do want to ask you this. If people are playing the Oaks Derby double and we don't find, and say Forte scratches, but not till tomorrow morning, how does that affect that? Does it default to the favorite? Does it just cancel or does it refund? How does that work?
I'm not.
Or I guess if anybody knows.
The pick 3 would go to the favorite. The Oaks Derby double probably has a consolation payout. Because doubles generally have consolation payouts instead of defaulting to the favorite. Pick 3s generally default to the favorite. So the Oaks Derby pick 3 would be the way to attack it if you want to play around Forte and tap a trice. And the double will probably have a console payout.
Okay. Yeah, we'll find out about that. Breaking news, Elvis is in the building for the Kentucky Oaks. Elvis is in the building. Also, Dr. Miranda. So if you're going to be at Churchill Downs either today or tomorrow, hit her up on Twitter. Let her know you're there. I'm sure she'd love to share a drink with you. For Mike Somich, Aaron Halteman, Jared Welch, Papa Dude, Vinny Blonde, Dr. Miranda, everybody who's contributed for everything we've done for the Racing Dudes team, for the Derby and the Oaks. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to all of the fans who've been with us every day. We'll continue to be live. Today we'll be live from 1 to 3 1 to 3 Pacific, 4 to 6 Eastern, covering the Oaks, the La Troyenne, and the Edgewood Stakes, which thank God we're going to be on the turf for both days. It seems like it's going to be great. And then we will be live again on Saturday from 1:45 to about 7:15 Eastern time, covering the Derby and all the big races there. So please join us if you can. We'd love to have you. I guarantee you won't see another better live coverage show on YouTube anywhere. We have a lot of fun. Hopefully we make everybody some bets. Good luck. Thank you again. We're out of here.